Well, it's that time of year for Pokemon Masters to have another seasonal event, and Arven is going to be the star this time around. So yeah, I really do love Pokemon Masters, and especially when they have the little winter events, where everybody in Postio gets together to celebrate a holiday that is not Christmas, even though they definitely share all the same hallmarks. The point is that even though once again we're only getting one seasonal sync pair, Arven is partnered up with his Scovillain this time around, and is perfect because we just got Mega Scovillain in Pokemon Legends ZA. The story begins with Arven lamenting to his Pokemon that he doesn't know what he should give to his friends. Gladion overhears him and wants to help out, because he himself is going to be learning from Seabold how to cook so that he can make something for his mom. And that kind of gets at Arven just a little bit, hearing that he's talking about a nice time with his family for the holidays, which okay, yeah, two tangents. For the first thing, the Aether family is actually all together and very happy in the world of Pokemon Masters. And meanwhile with Arven, we know that Mabostiff is his only family because his mom and dad are gone. Yeah, remember that whole traumatic event with the time machine and everything? Dude, I can't believe that was 3 years ago now. I'm starting to feel nostalgic for it. But anyway, back to the story at hand. Arven is very excited at the prospect of studying cooking under Seabold, who, fun fact, was actually one of the first winter sync pairs back in, 2019. Yeah, a lot of nostalgia this time around. So like I said, Lily and Gladion want to make something for Lusamine to show their appreciation, and meanwhile Arven actually has no idea what he should make, but the core of what Seabold ends up telling them is that they should just cook something from the heart, and as long as they keep in mind the person who they want to cook the food for, it's all gonna work out. Also, Scovillain pops up for a bit to show that it's here. Also very excited for cooking, especially as this is a Pokemon who can actually help out with the cooking, because we know that parts of Scovillain are often used to make spicy food in Paldea. And I do really love Arven's team in general from the video games because he has a bunch of Pokemon that are just very food related, whether they be Pokemon that like to eat food or Pokemon that are partially food themselves. But bringing in Scovillain as his partner Pokemon for this was a great idea because it's just red and green, which are the usual Christmas colors, so weirdly enough, at least visually, it is the perfect Pokemon for this event. So as everybody is getting ready for the big party, Arven is out shopping for the final ingredients that he needs, but he notices that Gladion and Lily are on the phone and seem a little distressed, that being that Lusamine is held up at work and won't be able to join the party even though she had promised. Lily and Gladion are understanding. Again, they have a much better relationship in this game than they do in the main games, but Arven, as somebody whose parents were kind of neglectful as he was growing up, really understands the importance of families being together. So yeah, conceptually everything is really working out for this event, and I think it was a great idea to put Arven in this situation, because he even heads down to the Aether Foundation himself to give Lusamine a talking to, urging her to leave immediately and not prioritize work over her family. But then we find out that yeah, she really does want everybody to go home, and even offered to stay herself so that everybody could be with their loved ones, in hopes that she might find a lost Pokemon that the Aether Foundation is looking for to reunite it with its trainer. Arven then volunteers himself to help out, and he finds himself all alone in the woods.
Just then, he's joined by Florian, Juliana, Nimona, and Penny.
But Arven is starting to get worried about the missing Pokemon, thinking that it must be hungry by now. Juliana then decides that now might be the perfect time to give him his present, which ends up being his new outfit, obviously the one that he wears for the sync pair, and I think this is a great idea. It's very Arven and fits the theme perfectly. Very cozy, and the whole little Scovillain on the apron is just perfect. Pokemon, I need you to sell this in real life. So then Arven, along with Scovillain, use the ingredients that he was shopping for, and make a very tasty looking stew. Gosh, why does it always look so good in Pokemon? With the help of Scovillain, the lost Pokemon also thinks it smells very good, and so they find the Hoppip and are able to return it to the trainer. Very nice little moment as he does get to reunite with his friends and they're all able to help out. So then we cut to the party where the Aether family is all together, even reusing some of their outfits from a different event, but it is really cool that Arven was able to help them stay together, even though it was, just a thing of like, oh, Lusamine, I promised to be there but had something else to do, and even though the kids were okay with her missing it, Arven couldn't stand to see a family not together. He does also catch up with Seabold, letting him know that he didn't get to make the exact dish that he had wanted, instead using all the ingredients that he had bought in a pinch in order to help the lost Pokemon. But at the end of the day, all that really matters is that he put his heart into it, and obviously all the Paldean friends ate it anyway and probably really loved it. But yeah, along with other stuff in this game, I am glad that we get some more characterization for Seabold, and I do think that this is a perfect way to bring these two characters together. But now Arven finally catches up with everybody else and they're able to spend the holiday together. Penny makes a remark about being hungry and waiting for the food, which, funny little moments with everybody together. And I do just love this group of friends and everything that we've gotten to see in the main games and now finally in Pokemon Masters as well. And the event ends off with Arven giving everybody else a present, even getting this nice little still frame, which we've seen things like this in Pokemon Masters before, but once again was just the perfect note to end off things for the holiday. So yeah, that was another fun one for the books. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'm going to be able to scout for Arven and Scovillain, even though I do love the outfit as well as Arven from the main games, but I do think it was really funny that things happen to line up where we get this event in the mobile game, and in Pokemon Legends ZA we got a Mega Scovillain, which the design is pretty cool. I know a lot of people aren't the biggest fan of base Scovillain, and I would say that I think it's okay, but the Mega Mega Evolution does feel like the extra step that it really needed. First of all, the two heads being even bigger and looking a lot more like dragons. I know that it wasn't really meant to be a dragon specifically from the get-go, but giving them both that extra flair makes it a lot more intimidating. And then also the body being a darker color and getting basically a necktie is also really perfect because it looks like an angry businessman, which would be the villain of like an animated movie. Oh yeah, and then also the tail there having some of the spikes as well really does tie it all together. Though the Pokédex entry just kind of says that it gets even spicier, but the interesting part is that it does call that part of its body an actual necktie, or at least in quotations. Something I didn't know I really needed, and while it is still a bit more of a goofy, jokey Pokemon, I think that this really does bring everything all together. So let me know what you think about this Pokemon in general, which I think I've only really talked about once, and let me know what you think of the Mega Evolution design. Also, of course, leave your comments on the actual Pokemon Masters event, which was the main portion of the video obviously, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Happy holidays and a very Merry Christmas. Thank you to every channel member for your continued support, including the Great Gators, Alex Switch Shiny Hunts, KoiKoi13, Cemetery Hill, Cheez-It62, GatorKid509, TF, Mathaclog947, Taijirai, Phantom, and Quago. If you'd like to support, see your name here, get access to emotes for comments, live streams, sometimes early videos, join a member's Discord, and listen to the podcast as it comes out, you can become a channel member today. You can also follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky as well for more memes. Anyway, this is GatorX, and I will catch you all later.
What do you want for Christmas?
More Pokemon!
Catch another Pokemon coming up next, right here on Kids WB.
This'll be the best Christmas ever!